Hello, good morning, Marietta here with another video for you guys. I thank God for each and every one of you. I really truly appreciate you. I love how bright and shiny it is here in South Carolina on this morning. The temperature is very high. It's like 90, it's going up to like 94 degrees. I know it's hot everywhere, but it's just such a blessing to be amongst the land of the living, to be able to feel this beautiful heat. Yeah, Marietta's coming in with another video, and now I have a topic that I want to talk to y'all about today. And some of y'all may know a lot about this topic, and I'm going to need your input. I know I have a girlfriend who's going through a certain situation right now, and the situation she's going through is she had moved away, and she had moved for about a good, I guess maybe about a good 10, no, she's been gone now like 12 years. She inherited some property. She inherited some property from her family. And the property she inherited from her family, it was out in the country somewhere. You know, there was an old house there, whatever. You know how grandparents and parents leave their property to their children, and children really don't want it. They want to go to the city. They want to go where the happening is. They want to go where their life is. But we keep buying all these properties out here in the country, such as where I am right now in South Carolina. There's so many properties that have been left, and there's no for sale sign on none of them. The buildings are abandoned. There's nobody there, and it looks like the place has just been falling down. It's overgrown. I mean, to the point where the trees are overgrown the house, or just are taken over. But they don't understand when these properties are left like that, it leaves the door open for squatters. Squatters are taking over all these empty properties that are being left, and squatters are moving into these properties. And as the homeless population begins to increase, a lot of more of this, I'm sad to say it, but we may see a lot more of this begin to happen. We may see a lot more of this begin to happen. And then it's to a place where when you see the grass overgrown and you see the trees are overtaking the house, and the house is setting back up in the woods somewhere, and it's easy for squatters to hide in these places. It's easy for squatters to begin to look to maybe like a neighbor who might be either down the road or next door. The place been left for a long time. Then all of a sudden somebody shows up. They start cutting the grass. They start trimming the hedges. All of a sudden they see lights on. They see a moving truck come. They start to see this place begin to come alive again, as if these people done return. Family done return. Somebody that owns this place that knows these people have returned. So they think that these people are part of the family, when these people are truly strangers. These people have been scoping out this place. These people see that nobody lives here. They see that it's unkept. They see that there's nobody showing up. They see that there's an opportunity for them to move into this place. And if it's been left unattended, neglected all this long time, then what are the chances for anybody coming by to see who's there? What are the chances for anybody even knowing? First of all, they're not going to answer the questions of the neighbors and tell them all their business. They may give them a story, you know, like I bought the property, or I may be a long lost cousin, or whatever they decide to tell the people when they show up, because you do got some nosy neighbors that will answer this. And unfortunately, here in South Carolina, I do know that there's a lot of that squatter stuff going on, and squatters can gain legal rights to a property through what they call what she mentioned something about adverse possession. Adverse possession. And what that is the principle that allows people to gain ownership of someone else's property. Hear me very well now. By openly, continuously, and hostily occupying this property for a period of time. Sometime 10 years, and sometime it could depend on what your state's got going on. But if somebody that lived in this place 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, and nobody done showed up, and it's just sit there and overgrown, and they done lived there, and they done cleaned it up, and they done moved in, and they done took over ownership of these properties. I don't know exactly how this situation worked. I didn't have too much advice to be able to give her in this situation, because I am not a real estate or anything of that nature. But these are problems that average people are having today. Just your average person on the street can walk up to you and start talking to you about these situations and how things have been taken from them. And in the meantime, my take on this situation is for her to get herself a good lawyer. Do never, ever, ever try to approach these people on your own, because it could be very dangerous, and it will not turn out well for you when you try to do an eviction. There may be things that you may have to go through, and you may have to go through the whole eviction process. You may have to go through the process of giving them, an eviction notice. You have to go through the court. I'm sure you need to do things legally, but in the meantime, you do need to file a police report, and you need to let law enforcement in your area, in your state. That's the first thing I would do. Now, I am not in real estate, nor am I a landlord, nor have I been down that road to even deal with squatters. That would be a scary thing for me to come home and find somebody squatting in my house, living in my house, and now I have nowhere to go because somebody that took over possession of my dwelling, and now I got to go through all this legal stuff, which costs money and costs time, and it could cost you a lot of money out of pocket to be able to figure out where you're going to live, how you're going to eat, where you're going to stay, while these squatters have taken over your possessions. That is a hurtful, scary position to be in, I would think. So my advice to anybody that's going through that is to seek legal representation. Take it through the court. Take it the right way. Call law enforcement. Get yourself a police report first and foremost, and then take the legal steps of what you need to do to go through this situation. Because when people get bold enough, when they get bold enough to walk into somebody else's house or to obtain somebody else's property, and then they will fight you after that because they know they wrong from the beginning. They know they did not pay for this property. You have worked all your life and you've worked hard. Just imagine grandmama and grandpapa and them give you this property, but you walk away from it. You got to be careful. This is why I feel as though that as we age, start talking to your children about these type of things. See if they even want that place. See if they even want to live in that area. See what their ideal of it is. And then you know what to do in your passing. You'll know whether or not to pass it on or go ahead and sell it. Go ahead and sell it and get rid of it, so that they would not have to go through that, go through probate and all that type of stuff that you have to go through for these things. Go to court, sign all these papers, and create all that, because they may not know the legal steps. I don't know the legal steps that you would have to do to go through all of that. So you got to try to put your finances and you got to put your stuff in order before this happens. Because when you start talking about a formal eviction, you got to go through that process. You still may have to go through that process when you start talking about putting squatters off of your property. So when squatters come into your home and they look like they belong there, they're moving like anybody else would move when they move into a place, but yet it's costing you money. Yet and still, you may gain access. I'm not sure. Somebody please tap in and let people know. Will they lose their place? Is there any way, even if they go through the time period? I don't think, in my mind, is there a chance of them even losing that property to that squatter? Can a squatter take possession of your place and truly own it themselves after you did all that hard work, or your grandparents did all that hard work and left that property to you, but because you moved away, because you went away, you just left the property there, but it's still your property? Can they come in and just take ownership of your property? Can you lose your property like that? I mean, it's like, these people are occupying your property. They're turning on utilities. They're fixing it up. They're cutting the grass. They're cleaning it up. They're repairing the homes. And they're actually moving in and taking them on their own. And here you come 9-10 years later. You didn't have a problem in your life, or maybe something that happened at a point where you can't afford where you are. So now you got to return back to the land that you left. Or are you allowed to just walk right on in and put these people up out of there and go ahead and live? Even after they had fixed the place up, even though they went into it wrong. I don't know nothing a whole lot about this situation, but something we need to talk about these squatters, because as we're going through the pains of life right now, as things are beginning to change, people are leaving their homes and they're teaming up with other people, going into other houses as they pay for their homes and leave their homes unattended while they go live with somebody else to try to save some money or to try to rent their place out, and their places are just sitting empty because the cost of the rent is entirely too high. Yet and still, they're not coming to check on these places. I know I take a ride. A lot of times I ride these back roads out here in South Carolina. There is so many places that squatters could come and move, and you would never know they're there. You would really, truly never know they're there. I mean, nice big pieces of land with homes on them that the weeds have grown all up over the front of the house, the side of the house. But if they was to kick in the door or whatever, just going in there and start setting up house, nobody would even come check for them. Nobody would know they're there or any of that nature, because of the fact that they have been left, and they have been left unattended all that time. So when I think of squatters and squatters going to court and they got their paperwork in order, showing that, first of all, that they cleaned the place up. They're showing that they have painted. They're showing that they have remodeled. They're showing that they have cut the grass. They're showing that they have paid the utilities. They've showed that nobody has showed up there for all them years. I mean, what leg do they have to stand on when they go to court? How do they represent themselves to a place where the judge would actually give them your property? These are the things that I do not understand. These are the things that I would love for somebody to explain to me. What squatters' rights are. Where do squatters have rights? How do they have rights when they've disobeyed the laws of the land? The word teaches us to obey the laws of the land. To me, when you start kicking in people's doors and you start setting up house and you start moving as if you own a piece of property that you know you did not own, nor did you obtain the legal way, I don't understand how that piece of property can become your property and you are ready to fight the actual owner of the property in court. I understand that the neighbors might say, well, it's a beautiful thing that they moved in because, in fact, squatters are not. At least they cleaned the place up. At least they brought our property value back up. This place is an eyesore. It's tore down. It's this, that, and the other thing. And it has been left neglected for a long time. And because it's been neglected, I guess we should be grateful that somebody just decided to come on in and clean it all up and make our community look nice and everything, but never once do they think about the fact that this person could have done the same thing to them. I mean, I understand they lived in their house, but what happens if you go on vacation? What happens? There's been cases of, I've seen on the internet sometimes, if people go on vacation, they come back, they might have been gone a month, 2 months, they come back, people have already moved in their house. Do squatters really have rights? Do we really have things such as squatters' rights? Is squatters able to take your property away from you? This is a question that I would like to know and I would like to have answered. If you know the answers to these questions, please type it down in below. Let's get a conversation started. Let's help some of these folks out that are going through situations right now where they're just leaving their property and going somewhere else and thinking that they can go to another state, another country, wherever, and come back and their property be safe and their property be just as they left it. Things are not the same, y'all. Things are not the same anymore. You've got so many people out here now that are desperate. They're moving desperate. They're acting desperate. They're living desperate. They're in desperate situations because we are in desperate times. People are doing things that are not normal. These things, the way people are moving now, are not normal. This is something weird to me, and it sounded weird to me, but I know it's happening out here in the world, and it's something that we have to face. We really, I mean, it got me to a place where I'm like, I'm not going no place. I'm gonna sit right here in my little house on my little nest like a chicken sitting on an egg, and I'm gonna sit right here because I ain't got time to be worrying about no squatters moving into my house. Just imagine you feel the fear you feel when you knock on your own door to talk to somebody who done squatted in your house and you trying to be polite, you trying to be nice, but you know deep down inside your skin is boiling. And then what if you can't even go to the house? Because I'm from my understanding too, from what she told me, you can't even go by the house. You got to let the court handle it all. You got to let the law handle it. You got to let the court handle it. In the meantime, you living in a hotel or you trying to figure out where you can stay and your money's getting wore down and wore thin because you still got to eat. You can't even cook. You don't even have no place to cook now. Now you living in a hotel room and that hotel room is costing you money daily when you have a nice home that you can go back to, but you can't go back to because somebody has already occupied it. A stranger has trespassed against you. You need to have to file some trespassing charges, and that isn't that what they call that, trespassing? They have trespassed against this person because they have no right to be there. I mean, squatters' rights have gone, to me, they've gone too far. Do you believe the squatters should have rights? Do you believe the squatters should make you feel like you're the victim in this? And the squatter is right? Because that's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like the person that actually owned the place, it sounded to me like they're the ones that get punished the most because they got to stay outside. While these squatters laying up in their house, it's not like we're going to put the squatters out, we're going to put you out, and we're going to leave the house empty until this is settled. No, while this is going on, the squatters are living good. They living it up. They got a place. You stressed all out when you ain't got nowhere to go. So squatters are taking over. Squatters are moving in. And as we go through these trying times, y'all be careful out there with leaving your units unattended, leaving your homes unattended, leaving your doors to your homes unlocked. Be careful. Be careful, because there's breaking and entering charges, there's trespassing charges, there's a lot of charges that could be handled through that if it's done the right way. And I really believe that, as hard as it is for you to find somebody in your house and you feel as though that you got to take a deep breath and suck it up until you can get them out legally, because even when you call the police, you still got to go through the proper channels, from my understanding, you got to go through the proper court, because they don't handle that type of matter. So, whew. It's a lot. It's a lot. I was really shocked. But I did pray with her. I told her I love her. I told her that, I would keep her lifted up in prayer. There's some things that are going on, and people are not thinking like they should. Even though that is your property and the squatters that moved in on it, just try your best to take some deep breaths and try to handle it the legal way, because you don't want to get yourself in no trouble, and you don't want to do nothing that is illegal on your behalf by trying to do an unlawful illegal eviction, or try to do that and then you end up getting hurt, because people that would do something like that, you don't know what else they might do. You don't know what else they might try. They might be at the end of their rope, and it could be desperate situations for them. So these squatters that are taking over people's homes, whew, you have to be in a position where you mentally have to be strong enough to just leave them there, call the police, and walk down the chain of command. That's my advice. I love y'all so much. I pray that this will help somebody. I pray that there are some people out there that may have dealt with squatters before, have walked down this road. I pray that y'all would leave us some comments, leave us some information down below, and let's get a conversation started, because as we are going through these trying times, and as the rents and the mortgages and the people are getting evicted, they're looking for somewhere to go, and your empty unit could be the next place that they start the squat in. So we're talking about squatters. Let's talk about how we can protect ourselves from these squatters. How can we get these squatters up out of your home if they've already invaded your house? And what do you do to prepare yourself when you go through this type of situation? How do you handle it? So with that being said, I pray that this video will start a conversation to help us better understand what to do if you come home and you find squatters in your home. If they've already moved in your home, it is got to go through protocol. So let's talk about it. If you stayed here to the end, hashtag squatters. No, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you over here. We are on a journey to 10K over here, and we're halfway there, y'all. We're almost to that 5K mark. Yes, we're almost there. I love each and every one of y'all. I thank y'all for joining me. I thank y'all for just cheering me on as we go through these trying times, and as I think of how God is moving through this channel. We're going someplace, y'all. And if you've not turned your notification bell on as of yet, please turn your notification bell on right now. Go ahead. I'll wait, so that you'll be notified when I drop my next video. Y'all be blessed and enjoy the rest of your day.